So over the past couple of weeks, we've been covering a lot of the hate that ironmouse has been getting online, especially towards a lot of her songs and things like that, right? And well, it seems like one thing that people have kind of forgotten about, and I mean, I guess this is for the best, right, is VShojo, right? And if you guys don't remember what happened with VShojo a couple of months ago, obviously it imploded as, obviously a lot of the funds and the financial side of VShojo ended up absolutely going wrong. Ironmouse is owed a ton of money, as well as some of the other talent as well, which ended up with them all leaving and all, VShojo shutting down. And even Justin, who is Gunrun, the kind of CEO, owner, whatever you call it, here, who essentially, said they were shutting down and that he takes full responsibility. And a lot of people are very mad at him for exactly, what he's done. Because, again, they've taken money away from charity and so many other things. And obviously, he kind of claims that it was for the benefit of the company and keeping it going longer. But obviously, people don't care about that. You stole charity money, and it is absolutely disgusting to see, right? And obviously, you see here that there's even a community note here saying Justin claims not to know the purpose of the funds, that he personally congratulated ironmouse on the completion of a charity fundraising event and reposted Ludwig directly mentioning that half the funds would go to charity, right? And that is exactly, what went on. And I think it is pretty insane. And then obviously as well, it seems like people have been kind of keeping an eye on what has been going on with VShojo, because their Twitter account is still up. They did end up removing the checkmark, which obviously, because it costs a lot of money to kind of run that. But what people have noticed is that the VShojo website is still down. Well, not still down. It just went down. It was still up for quite a while. I think it was the end of January. It was January 26th or something. I saw a screenshot on the Wayback Machine where essentially the website was still up and working, featuring all of the talent. It just looked untouched. It looked like something that people just hadn't really looked at. And now, obviously, if you go onto the website, click on either of these links for the store or for the main webpage, it says for not found, or this store is unavailable. Now, I did check up on the actual domains themselves. Like, is someone able to take vshojo.com right now? And no. It seems like the domains are still owned. Now, I don't know if they are owned by Gunrun, or I don't know if they are owned by maybe someone else, but it seems like these domains are still owned. It is just the store on the website that's been taken down, which makes me think that this is actually more so of, someone behind the scenes taking it down themselves, rather than like an expiration of payment or whatever. Maybe, because some people obviously are going to be speculating that maybe they didn't pay for the domain or whatever. So, they just kind of, shut it down. But that isn't the case. It seems like this was actually shut down by someone, probably Gunrun. It seems like the websites are no longer up anymore. And a lot of people saying, disclaimer, I don't know when this happened. I just saw it. Sorry if this was already talked about. I didn't find any posts about it. And so, if you had any hopes of getting refunds or anything, even this late on, you are not going to be getting them. And I don't think there was much hope in the first place anyways. It was a pretty terrible situation already. And obviously we saw people like Giga and Zentrea and people trying to essentially get people's merch back and try to sort stuff out, because again, a lot of stuff went through VShojo, and some things ended up working out, but some things obviously ended up not working out. And it has been a pretty horrible time, right? And a lot of people have been saying, that took a while for it to happen, wonder when. And it was literally just the last day or so that it has happened, like the start of February, end of January. So this wasn't like, whenever this all kind of kicked off. This is a recent thing that has happened. A lot of people saying good riddance. People saying domain registries have a term, usually 1 year. But they say, the domain is still owned by Justin. He just took everything down, it seems. They said, I wonder why. Maybe the website upkeep bill came due before the registry. I doubt they're hosting their own, but I never looked into it. I don't think they're hosting their own. I think, I don't know. I have zero clue as to why it's been taken down. It's probably due to the fact that, hey, they are shutting down. It's probably, due to the process of them shutting down. And I think I don't think it's, totally out of the blue for the VShojo website to be taken down, right? Because of course it no longer exists. It's not usable anymore. They don't need it. So of course they're going to take it down. But I'm wondering why they are still using the domain. Maybe the contract hasn't run out yet. Because as I say, it usually lasts for a year. So maybe it'll be down soon, and maybe someone can take the domain vshojo.com. I wonder if someone will do that, by the way. If someone's waiting to kind of snipe that, and take it off them and use it for something else, which could be interesting, right? A lot of people saying good riddance, not surprised, good. A lot of people saying eulogy song. So, you know, the general sentiment towards VShojo and Gunrun still is very negative towards them, which obviously, yeah, is fair enough, right? There has been a ton of horrible stuff that has happened, and if you guys haven't seen the horrible stuff that's happened with VShojo, I have a ton of videos going over each and every one of the members' kind of responses and everything that they have done to try to rectify a lot of this kind of stuff, because as I said, with the store being down, with the website being down, and you know, I think the one thing behind the web, because obviously the website was up a couple of days ago, but all of the inner working things of the store and the website were not working in terms of like shipping stuff out to people, having logistics sort stuff out. That was not a thing. They kind of I don't know, they just stopped, right? Which obviously is pretty crazy for a lot of the fans and stuff that ended up paying for merchandise, which they never ended up getting, and probably will never end up getting. And of course, a lot of the VShojo members, or ex-VShojo members, sorry, were telling a lot of the fans to essentially charge it back on their credit card or whatever they paid through, because they will not be getting it. So again, if you haven't you know, charged it back yet, I think it might be a little bit too late now, but maybe try it and see if you can, because again, it is at a point where like it is cooked now. It is completely cooked. We haven't heard anything from VShojo or Gunrun really since that. And obviously we did hear about him apparently doing like delivery jobs or something literally at a VTuber event one time, which again, I'm not sure on how true that was, but that is pretty funny if that is exactly what he is doing. But again, I don't know if that is true or not, but it would be pretty funny to see if he is just putting the fries in the bag now, ever since absolutely screwing over so many people and you know, doing all of this stuff. Now, of course, I think there is still action being taken against them in terms of like, legal stuff. I'm not sure, but again, we'll have to wait and see if anything does come out about that. But to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the VTubers don't really go public with that, right? Because they don't really want the unnecessary drama. I've talked about, you know, ironmouse, for example. She's already been through so much, even post VShojo, right? She had the whole VShojo stuff, and then she had the whole stream reward stuff with the Spotify and all of that kind of stuff afterwards. Of course, she's had a pretty horrible time already, and I think she probably doesn't want to open up a new basket of kind of people, you know, ready to attack her over the VShojo stuff, despite there being like so much proof and so much evidence and so much kind of like everybody kind of agrees like, yeah, no, this was kind of screwed up. No, obviously, this is, you know, one of these situations where, yeah, people should agree, but of course, some people, you know, they're weird, right? They'll probably be like, oh, but actually, blah, 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 and it ends up, yeah, going pretty insane, right? But yeah, I just kind of wanted to give you an update on the VShojo on the VShojo website, because I thought it was a very, very interesting post, as it has only been taken down now. Like, I could understand if it was taken down literally like a couple days after, you know, Gunrun put out the announcement, because this was like uploaded in July, right? It's been what, how many, 6 months or so, seven months. So again, but again, it is it has been a very long time, right? And yeah, I don't know why it is now that they've decided to do it, but I guess, you know, better late than ever. And yeah, it seems like you will no longer be able to look at the VShojo website or the VShojo store website. So if you were somehow in contact with support with them, you're not going to be able to do that anymore. But again, I don't think they were doing that anyways, right? And hopefully things go good for ironmouse in terms of whatever action she's taking, if any at all. And hopefully we can see some kind of result from that coming forwards. But yeah, that is essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSups, use my code Kazza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.